Previously on Alan Wake. I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that Ryder just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman. I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you lying.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Bastard.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus.
Λοιπόν, τι ωραίο καλυβάκι. Κάποιος έρχεται. Πού είμαι?
The door was locked. I was a prisoner here.
Α, είναι το ψυχιατρίο αυτό το...
Good evening, Alan. Are we feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Πολύ ήρεμος.
Yeah. I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message. Loud and
Και το
clear.
bodyguard από
Quite
πίσω.
right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good.
Άστε μας ρε ντόκτορ. Θέλω να πάω βόλτα. Οπα. Μην χαλάσει την καρέκλα. Ωραία καρέκλα. Φτιάξω εγώ μια τέτοια. Κόψω 2 κυπαρίσια. Καλή φάση. Τι ωραία. Να ζήσεις εδώ πέρα. Αλλά να έχεις και λίγο ίντερνετ. Για πάμε να έχουμε μια βόλτα. Πού πήγε αυτός ο βλάκας.
This corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together.
Ναι, πάμε άντε.
This way, Alan.
Α, κλείδωσε. Δεν ήρθε ο bodyguard μαζί.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this.
Τώρα μου λέει
Alice
ότι η Alice έχει
drowned,
πεθάνει όλη
and you couldn't face that.
και ότι δεν μπορώ να το
You're
αντιμετωπίσω.
suffering from hallucinations,
Και νομίζω ότι έχω
paranoid
παραισθήσεις.
delusions, unusual thinking,
Παράνοια.
an obsession about light
Και
and
μονή.
darkness,
Με
a
το
feeling
σκοτάδι
that
και το
everything
φως.
revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness
Λέει
are
όλα
trying
αυτά.
to stop you.
Ότι είναι
We
σενάριο
go
στο
this
μυαλό
way, Alan.
μου για απαγωγή
I
και τα
wasn't
λοιπά.
ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up.
Στο
Apart
κεφάλι
from
μου.
the tragic
Ναι,
accident
συμφωνώ
with
ότι
your
πεις.
wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
Πολύ αργά περπατάνε όλοι αυτοί στο παιχνίδι. Μάλιστα. Για να δούμε τι θα δούμε. Πετύξω να φύγω.
I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk. Hartman obviously loved his own voice. His words echoed madly inside my head. I dug my nails into the palms of my hands to stay focused.
You need to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery. Come along. Let's go inside.
Αν κάνεις snack θα πω κιόλας, προχώρα.
So here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
Emerson.
I'm a real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson.
Okay. Sorry. Boo.
That's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on video
Elbow
games.
strike.
It's trash, of course, but it does involve some small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
Άλλη από εδώ. Η Σοφία θα μεγαλώσει.
Come, Alan, this way.
Περίμενε που είναι τραγούδι. Αυτό ήτανε. Έκανε και το πόλεμο των Άστρων. Τι κοιτάς. Λέγε.
Now, you might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
My rheumatism's killing me. There's a storm coming. Oh, what a storm.
I hope it wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And these two are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Tor. They had a, how should I put this? A heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done.
Πάμε έξω ζωγράφο.
I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark. Oh, that won't do. I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
Ό,τι πεις. Πρέπει να πάω όταν.
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny. Yeah! Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Zane! You're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson Farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
Τελικά αυτή δεν πρέπει να είναι τρελή. Τουλάχιστον όσο νομίζουν οι άλλοι.
My head was...
Για αυτό τι μας έδωσε.
Zane could feel the poems, taking form, shaping things. As he experimented, he imagined he could almost feel the power surging through the keys of the typewriter. It exhilarated him. But there was fear, too. If not for his young assistant Emil, he would have given it up. But Emil convinced him otherwise. He, too, had a way with words. It was clearing up. Or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything.
Έτσι που πιστεύω ότι ο
Crazy or
γιατρός
not,
λέει...
the Andersons made more sense.
Μου λέει ψέματα.
Tom, you got any booze on you?
Και αυτοί οι δύο είναι πιο λογικοί σε αυτά που λένε.
No.
We have a stash of the special stuff at the farm. Our own formula. Local ingredients. Medicine. Clears your head right up. Makes you remember like moonbeams on the brain.
Oh, I just noticed. Leather patches on the elbows? That's not very rock and roll.
Tom's just lost is all. Baba Yaga got to him too, the damn witch.
Πού είναι η Σοφία?
Bad dream and you can't wake up.
Τραγούδα.
You can't hurt a nightmare because all dreams are only imagination. They're only in your head and they're not there.
Να ο ζωγράφος.
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. He likes them. He has them in his office.
Μια χαρά τα πας, συνέχισε.
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting...
Mullet time is the hook. We needed to go big in the target demographic. And they're not even kidding. They say it all like
Hey,
serious.
Wake, why don't you humor Dr. Hartman and give the writing a shot, huh? The typewriter's in your room. You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
Something's wrong. I'm not myself. It's hard to think that there's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be. I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
QR code. Τι είναι αυτό? Άμα το σκανάρω με το κινητό γίνεται τίποτα? Δεν το έχω και στο κινητό μου. Να βγάλω μια φωτογραφία.
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. Hartman wanted me to write. I knew I couldn't, but I figured I should just play along for now. It was the only thing I could do with Nurse Birch watching me like a hawk. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Emerson. Xbox. Τίποτα. Ένας χάρτης. Dark. Αριστερά λέει σκοτάδι. Εδώ κάτω δείχνει δρόμο προς την κορυφή. Δεξιά στη γωνία δείχνει αυτά που έχω περάσει εγώ με το φακό και με κυνηγάνε αυτοί με τα τσεκούρια. Τέλος πάντων, για να πάμε στο δωματιό μου. Ή να δω και τα άλλα πρώτα. Δεδομένο. Ανοιχτό. Εδώ είναι του ζωγράφου το δωμάτιο. Τίποτα και εδώ. Ας πάω να γράψω, είναι το μόνο που μπορώ να κάνω προς το παρόν. Ας πούμε ότι κάνω ό,τι μου λένε.
The white glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes. My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody, calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
Ναι, ναι, οκ. Cool. Κάμα με τη σφύρα μου.
I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
Where the hell did you get a damn hammer? My hammer's up. Here's a friendly poke. Mjolnir, witch. Oh, afraid of the crazy brothers, are ya? Not so weak now, are we? Well, things are unraveling fast, aren't they?
It's my store. I'm taking it.
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. If she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
Στο γραφείο του γιατρού να πάρω το σενάριο της σελίδας. Τι έχει πάρει.
The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made in the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
All the time. The parties, he's so angry all the time.
Αν είναι γυναίκα μου, είχε πάρει να μου κλείσει ραντεβού για το ψυχιατρίο εδώ πέρα.
No, never. Sometimes I almost wish Alan would take a swing at me, because at least that'd lead to a conversation he couldn't just march out of. But no. Alan doesn't really sleep. And the work, well, he's not writing at all. He sits there for hours.
Hartman wasn't happy. Maude could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time, and he blurted out 2 days, less than Wake had asked for to show him who was in charge. But that wasn't part of Hartman's plan.
Worse, it just gets more and more frustrated.
Hartman, do you hear me? I'm gonna chew your crazy quack ass to shreds!
Barry?
Oh.
Ow! About time! Barry, man, am I glad to see you. We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah.
Ωραία, και όπλο.
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, let's just...
Go!
Wake, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
Hartman followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartman chose to ignore it. Wake was finally within his reach. This would be on me in a moment. I had to find a way out. Possessed bookshelves out of my way. The dark presence would be on me in a moment. I had to find a way out. Light to get the possessed bookshelves out of my way.
Quando βρω το φως. Ξέρω που θα βρω το φως. Εδώ. Άντε ρε φλόρα, κατέβεις να σκάλα και τώρα. Εδώ λέμε
was no creator. He had no ambitions on that front. And he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartman to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, suitable subjects were few and far in between.
Social networking, scores, news, it's all at your fingertips.
Εδώ είμαι. Αλλά πάλι τσάνο. Άντε. Έλα εδώ. Μπράβο.
I'm here!
Μα θα σου βρει και αμάξι.
I found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Barry, I don't have a light.
Take this, Al.
Φέρ' το φακό.
Oh, God! Look at the house, Al! Look out!
Δεν λαβέρει νυφός. Σταμάτα. Έχει μείνει και χωρίς φακό. Λέει το, να μην εμπιστεύουμε τον Εμίλ. Έρχονται.
Hartman hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartman had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartman double-checked everything, just to be sure.
Αδέρφια. Μπράβο, του γιατρού. Τα κοράκια. Μανουάλ τώρα. Από εδώ ήρθα. Η πόρτα είναι ανοιγμένη προς τα δω. Δεν θυμάμαι. Ναι, από εδώ ήρθα. Πώς μπερδεύτηκα έτσι.
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartman said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, he seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver. For the moment, Barry was just glad he had survived the fall. He had been separated from Al, and there was no easy way to climb back up. He told himself he'd be okay in the gloomy forest at night. He would just have to wait for a while for Al to find his way down. Barry turned when he heard the heavy footsteps and saw the movement. The man-shaped shadow lunged at him from the bushes, an axe held high. Barry screamed and threw up his hand. The world exploded.
Κάποιος επιτέθηκε στον Μπέρι. Αυτά πάθος με τα τσεκούρια. Και λέει ο Μπέρι σήκωσε το χέρι του και... ο κόσμος θα ανάχτηκε. Θα είχε κάποιο όπλο αυτοβολίδες, κάτι τέτοιο υποθέτει. πράγματα.
Hartman watched as Wake's features slackened. The man was bullheaded, no doubt. Even lying on the bed, he'd almost broken Hartman's nose the second time. But with a little time, he could break Wake down, give him proper direction. Wake was easily the most promising subject he had had. Well, since Tom, really. "Sleep well, Alan," Hartman whispered with a smile. "Let me take care of you." He sniffed hard to clear his throbbing nose, swallowed blood, and barely tasted it.
Let's get out of here. Can you open this gate?
Maybe.
Barry.
Well, I slammed it shut when the nasty showed up, and the key fits kind of loose in the lock, so, Barry! I'll find it! Don't worry about it!
Hurry up, Barry!
I'm on it! I'm on it! It's gotta be here! Just hang on, Al! Oh, hey! Found a corner! That's a twig! Here it is! Al, I found the key! For the nearest, "You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon" sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You know what? You owe me big time for this. When this is through, if we make it, I don't care what anybody says, I'm done with darkness. You're gonna buy me a tanning bed as a gift, and I'm gonna live in it.
crazy. But that's fine, Barry.
Oh, you got that right, Al. You're barking mad. You are by far the craziest...
But maybe that's inevitable when you deal with crazy stuff like this. It helps. This is happening, Barry. Alice, they never had Alice. She's trapped in the darkness at the bottom of the lake, but she's not dead.
Al, how can you know that?
I know, Barry. I can...
Al,
No, listen. I can bring her back. I can find her. There's something special about this place. The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. But there's a catch. The dark presence, whatever that thing is, twists it to its own ends. That's why all of this is happening. It's using my manuscript to take over everything.
Al, I believe you.
It happened to Thomas Zane before, it happened to the Andersons.
I believe you. Crazy or not, you're not delusional. Weird shit's going down. That's a fact. I'm on board, man. I'm with you.
The Andersons knew about it, but they were too far gone to tell me with all the drugs they were on. But they wrote it down. There's a message somewhere at their farm, Barry. We just need to find it.
Look out!
I had lost my gun in the crash. Barry was nowhere to be seen.
Όπλα. Πού είναι ο Barry?
Barry!
Α, εκεί κάτω.
Barry!
Oh, man, you're okay! Jeez, it's good to hear your voice! I was trying to get out of the car, but the ground gave way. Man, what a drop! Don't worry, your cutout is fine.
Forget that! Are you okay?
I hit some bushes, didn't get a scratch. There's no way you can climb down, though. It's like a sheer wall. Al, there's something moving down here!
Barry, it's a taken! Use a flare, Barry!
Yeah!
Barry, are you alright?
Αυτό λέει μάλλον στη σελίδα.
I'm great! Guess you never messed with anyone from New York City before, huh? You're gonna have to find your way around to the farm, Al! I'll be waiting!
Barry, just wait for me, okay?
Al, I'm not staying here! It's suicide! I'm going to the farm! I'm gonna go ahead and secure the area. You can catch up. Don't worry about it. I'm on the case.
Now he is Rambo. This would turn into a disaster if I didn't catch up with Barry.
Με τόσο τρέξιμο που έχει κάνει αυτός, τουλάχιστον δεν έχει ανέβει λίγο η αντοχή του. Τι γίνεται πάλι?
When he stopped the car at the Anderson farm, Walter felt relieved. Oblivion was close at hand. The brothers wouldn't miss a jar of moonshine or two in the booby hatch. But then he saw the man on the porch, and he knew who it was. Driving for his life and knowing it was useless, he didn't realize he was crying until he couldn't see the road for the tears. Crawled over the gate. I needed a light to destroy them to get through. Agent Nightingale stared at the passed-out rider. The man was sleeping off one hell of a night. Nightingale felt a stab of envy at Wake's oblivion, but he had a job to do. He put the gun to Wake's head and almost became a murderer. His hand shook and his throat felt tight and dry. Biting his teeth, he tried again to pull the trigger. He lost the nerve. Wake stirred. Nightingale would have to settle for an arrest.
Παρακολουθεί στο FBI, λέει, το όπλο στο κεφάλι και θέλει να με προβολήσει. Αυτό το φως κάπως πρέπει να το στρίψω στη πύλη.
I could sense the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Trust no one. Πιστεύεσαι κανένας στο σκοτάδι. Το ξέρω. Ποιος είναι εκείνος που έτρεχε εκεί? Τον είδατε έτσι? Αγέλη. Πραγματικά αγέλη.
I could sense the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
Το βοηθούν πράσινο κιόλας.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
Εννοείται θα πάρω τον μεγάλο. Να βρω πουθενά. Καίγεται.
The car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If it was Barry, I would see the damage soon.
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path. The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path. Someone had left a gun behind. The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before. Oh, I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm. could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
Hello? Anybody here? Barry!
No! Danny, you're not! Please! What are you? No! Don't! I'm sorry!
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie. We're the best friends.
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true to this story. Going to be victims of Let me guess. Danny, huh? The front door was locked. The farm was still a good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast. If Barry wasn't up here, he was probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry. For a moment, Hartman considered strangling the idiot. Mott was mean-spirited, but easily manipulated, an emotional infant who lived for his approval. Wake, by contrast, was a far more difficult subject. Mott had given him too much leash. In 2 days, who knew what could happen? Hartman would have to find a way to rein him in, and quickly.
πολύ πυρομαχικό μαζεύω. Σημαίνει θα υπάρχει και μεγάλη μάχη.
Well, as I'm sure everyone's noticed, that storm we all felt coming is finally here. The boys at the Weather Service reckon it'll last until morning at the very least. Pertaining to that, let me read that missing persons alert again. The Sheriff's Department's still looking for a Caucasian woman, 30 years old, slim and blonde with blue eyes, maybe lost in the woods, and it's possible she's been injured in a car accident. If you see her, please make sure you get her indoors and call the sheriff. It's bad weather to be caught out in, so if you see someone in the area who maybe looks a little confused.
Πάω πρώτα στα κοντινά.
I'd known the brothers used to be some kind of rock stars, but it hadn't really sunk in until I saw the stage.
Ow! Run! Incoming! There's too many of them! God damn!
I'm so glad you decided to go it alone, Mr. Bronson.
Shut up and shoot! Ow! We have to fight them off! I can set off more of the fireworks from here and help you out! Hey, Al! Did you notice there's a lot of ammo and stuff around? This place is stopped! Al! Hold on! I'll try to get the stage lights on! Please, please, please!
Bright Falls, rock and roll capital of America.
Hey, Al! This way to the farm! See, bestseller? No reason to worry. Your cutout's good as new, right where I left it. I'll come back for it once we have the place secure.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time.
I think Alan Wake here has something to say. What's that, Al?
Ooh, I'm Alan Wake. I'm always right about everything. And if I don't get my way, I'll sulk all day long. I'm always intense and moody. It makes me very attractive and mysterious. Right now, I'm just standing here because I need my best friend Barry to carry me. But that's okay. I can just take him for granted.
I think I see what you did there.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You want me to do my imitation of Barry Wheeler? No? Thought so.
Wow! You look at that thing, Al! They really went all out with this Viking crap, didn't they? Look at all this stuff! They must have done okay for themselves, so how come I never heard of these guys before?
And this from the guy who learned about Ozzy Osbourne through reality TV?
Αυτός κοιτάει το πάτο.
Sleep. We all spend a third of our dreams in its soft embrace, somewhere between fantasy and
Hey,
oblivion.
remember when I got you that gig? Your first real writing job. What got you started? Was this one of your episodes?
Vice versa. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode.
It's 1976. Madness reigns at the Anderson farm. Contrary to all logic, the headiest ingredient of their moonshine is unfiltered water from Cauldron Lake. The Andersons feel like gods. Odin can't stop laughing. He contemplates cutting his eye out. Tor runs across the field, naked, shrieking, hammer in his hand, trying to catch lightning. Their songs have power. Something ancient is stirring in the depths, coming back.
The dream of dreams.
The Viking boat looked imposing, almost like a battering ram.
Dreamscape, only to be brought to a sudden stop by decidedly.
Good going, Al!
Precisely. So we wait till he wants to move on. Keeping us crops is hard work.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158
το βοήθεψε πάνω στο καλό. Το βοήθησε αυτός έπεσε. Πού είναι αυτός τώρα, πάλι ο Μπεν.
Wow! Those geezers had quite a production going on. Ooh, you know what, Al? If we make it through this alive, I'm gonna start representing them. Yep, sell this stuff online, maybe get a reality show going, release a new single.
Good luck with that, pal.
Hey, you find us a way out of here, okay? I'm gonna take a closer look at this stuff. Be careful, Al!
I'm good. Keep your eyes open, okay?
As you regular listeners know, I tend to work through the night, but I'm not the only one. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton are taking a couple of moments off their busy schedule to join me here in the studio. Boys, how busy are you now? Beer Fest is almost here, isn't it? I bet that keeps you in business.
Busy, yeah. Actually, Pat, we've been real busy with other stuff, which concerns an ongoing investigation.
I could see the building that had to be the Andersons' home on the other side of the field. It wasn't far now. I wasn't worried about trusting the ramblings of two burned-out geriatric wrecks. They had the goods.
that you out there, buddy?
Yeah, it's me.
Hey, let's go, man. I think we're gonna have to work together to open this gate, Al. Looks pretty heavy. Ah! Hey, I think that's the farm on the other side of the field. We're almost there. This farm is a crazy place for crazy people.
We should feel right at home then.
Come on, one more gate. Let's do this thing. Lights are out. I guess we better check the fuse box.
The power downstairs was out, but I was sure I could fix that at the fuse box. The power downstairs was out, but I was sure I could fix that at the fuse box.
You know, this place looks kind of lived in. I thought the Andersons were in the booby hatch. Come on, Al, let's get the lights on, huh?
Again, Alice's screams rang in the stillness of the night. I saw myself run toward the cabin, flashlight in my hand. I followed my past self. I was an out-of-body observer, a time traveler in a crazy drunken dream. This was the beginning. The night Alice had disappeared. The mystery of what had happened during the missing week was about to reveal itself. Of course. We need to find where it's coming from. That's the message the Andersons talked about. That's the whole reason we're here.
Lady of the Light? That's gotta be what's-her-face, the crazy lamp lady from the town.
Cynthia Weaver.
Right. Must be. Okay.
We need to find Cynthia Weaver. We'll stay here for the night and head back to town as soon as it gets light.
Hey, Al. Lots of hours before dawn. Might as well get some rest. And by rest, I mean drunk.
Come on, Barry, this is... Yeah, what the hell?
I'm sorry about this. No, seriously, because I know we don't get along, but we're gonna find her, right? And even though you're a crazy bastard, I'm gonna stick by you, no matter what, ever, Al. Sure, like a brother.
I'm a writer, goddammit.
Correct.
If I just wanted to, I could write 10 books a year. And they beat the best books that year.
No, you couldn't.
That's right, I couldn't. But I could, because I'm a writer.
What? What do they put in this stuff? I feel like my brain is coming out of my nose. I'm gonna get the recipe off those coots and be a booze millionaire.
I just miss her, Barry. I just want her here with me.
I know, Al. I know. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it okay.
Alice, I'm coming! It's all right! I'm coming!
It was a crazy, drunken dream, and yet it was more than that. It was the truth, a suppressed memory unearthed by the Andersons' moonshine. I was there, an out-of-body observer. This was the night Alice and I had arrived at Bright Falls, the night Alice had disappeared. I had a chance to find out what had happened. I remembered being surprised to see the cabin dark. Alice would have never turned the lights off. I remembered thinking I caught a glimpse of her form underwater, sinking into the darkness. Diving after her was the last vague memory I had of that night. After that, the next thing I could remember was waking up behind the wheel of the crashed car and finding the first pages of the manuscript. I couldn't find her in all that blackness. I must have thought she drowned.
Alice!
Jagger had Alice, and so she had me.
Alice!
I'd been easy prey.
Look, is there someone in the window?
Alice?
Maybe she didn't drown after all. Maybe she's inside.
Alice!
Yes.
The dark presence had touched me. She had dug her nails into my brain and used me, made me her puppet.
She must be here somewhere. Maybe upstairs in the study.
Alice!
Yes, that's where she is. You can apologize.
Alice!
You laugh at the whole thing together and put it
Alice!
behind you. She's not here. You were foolish to think so. No, she's dead. She drowned.
No, no, no!
It's your fault your wife is dead. You are guilty. All she wanted was to help you right. You killed her. Oh, hush. There's still hope. Cauldron Lake is a special place. Here, you have the power to change things. She wanted you to write. I will tell you what to do. You can write her back. The story will come true, and all will be well again.
She had Alice, and the manuscript was the ransom for her.
Yes. All right.
I'll fix it. I'll bring her back.
Θα ξεκινάω δουλειά να το φέρω πίσω.
No, I wrote it. I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Even with the cobweb she put in my head, some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story, to bring a light into the cabin to release me before I could finish, to interrupt the horror story before the ending, where darkness consumed everything and everyone. Zane was weak and far away, but I had written him into the story, and his light had been enough to set me free.
It isn't here now. I'm here because it was written. I brought the light to set you free. You must hurry. It will know I'm here. It will be back soon. It stole the skin of my Barbara a long time ago. She looks so old.
I had woken up, confused and groggy, my mind consumed by darkness and fear. All I could do was to escape. The week spent in the cabin had taken its toll. I was barely conscious and fading fast. It had to have cost Zane terribly, thrown him even deeper into whatever dark place he now haunted. But he had managed to weaken the dark presence, kept me safe that night.
I wrote it. It's my fault.
That's right, James Joyce. It's your fault and you're gonna pay for it.
Τέλος και το τέταρτο επεισόδιο. Εγώ σας αφήνω να ακούσετε το τραγουδάκι. Βλέπουμε στο επόμενο επεισόδιο. Καλή θα πω εμένα.
And a magic lake which gave a light to the words the poet used. Now the muse she was his happiness, and he rhymed about her grace, and told the stories of treasures deep beneath the blackened waves. Till in the stillness of one dawn, still in its misty crown, she went down to the lake, and in the waves she drowned. And now to see your love set free, you will need the witch's cabin key. Find the lady of the light, gone mad with the night. That's how you reshape destiny. Down to the lake to call out to his dear. When there was no answer, he was overcome with fear. He searched in vain for his treasure lost, until soon the night would fall, and only his own echo would wail back as his call. And when he swore to bring back his love by stories he'd create, nightmares shifted in their sleep in the darkness of the lake. And now to see your love set free, you will need the witch's cabin key. Find the lady of the light, still raving in the night. That's how you reshape destiny. Dead of night she came to him with darkness in her eyes, We're in a morning gown, sweet words as her disguise. He took her in without a word, for he saw his grave mistake, and vowed them both to silence deep beneath the lake. Now if it's real or just a dream, one mystery remains, for it is set on moon